Shavua Tov, there is a short story tucked away in Parshat Chukat in the book of Numbers that seems to be actually telling the battle that Israel is fighting today. What is it? Well, let's dig right in. The Torah tells us that the Canaanite king of Arad in the south heard something, and he attacked Israel and took captives. Israel took an oath to the Lord, saying, if God will grant this people into my hands, I will destroy their cities. And God listened to the voice of Israel, granted them victory. They destroyed their cities and called the place Hormah, which means destruction. It's a simple story of danger and deliverance. But when we look at Rashi's commentary, we see uncanny and remarkable things there. It is not as it seems to be at all. What is the secret of this particular story? Let's go in order. First of all, this Canaanite king heard something. What did he hear? What motivated him to attack? He heard that Aharon, the brother of Moses, the high priest, had passed away, and that the clouds of glory that had protected to the Israelite people had departed. And he said, now is my opportunity. Why did he feel he had an opportunity? One word: unity. You see, Aharon was the great peacemaker, the great unifier. The rabbis tell us to be the disciples of Aharon. Love peace, pursue peace, love people, bring them close to Torah and spirituality. As long as Aharon was alive, we were unified and nobody would raise a finger against us. But this king saw that Aharon was gone and he said, now the Jews are going to start tearing each other apart. They will become divided, and that is my opportunity to go and attack them. They will be vulnerable. That's what he thought. And to be honest, his thought was not far from the truth. There is a danger in disunity, and there is a power in unity, remarkable power. The rabbis tell us that one of the evilest kings of the northern kingdom, a guy by the name of Ahab, who was a tremendous idolater, who wanted all of his people to worship idols, nonetheless was victorious in all of his battles. How come such an evil king? He was so evil that he ordered that all of the prophets of the one God had to be killed. That's how evil he was. He had a servant by the name of Ovadyahu, who himself was a God-fearing man, who hid 100 of those prophets and saved them from Ahab's decree. Ahab was that evil. Why is he winning all of his battles? Say the rabbis, one thing: unity. Nobody squealed. No rivals, no jealous person told King Ahab what Ovadyahu was doing. There was nobody who spoke slander or gossip. And let that be a lesson to us. We have to be careful how we speak about each other, even as we may disagree. It's allowed to disagree. It is not allowed to attack people. We have to speak carefully. Unity is so powerful, even Ahab won his battles. So this king sensed that we would be disunified when Aharon, the great unifier, was no longer there to keep us together. And therefore he saw an opportunity and he attacked. But who was he? This is where it gets really interesting. Rashi says he weren't no Canaanite. He was in disguise. He was a Amalekite pretending to be a Canaanite. And his people were Amalekites pretending to be Canaanites. Why did they do that? That's why the Torah calls them Canaanites, even though they're Amalekites. What was he thinking? Because this Amalekite was afraid that if I come as Amalek attacking the Israelites, they're going to pray to God to be delivered from the Amalekites, which would be correct, and therefore their prayer may be effective. So we'll make them think we're Canaanites. They'll pray to be delivered from Canaanites, and it's a wrong prayer, it won't work, and we will therefore be victorious. Huh? First of all, when does an Amalekite care about prayer? They're atheists. They don't believe in God. If you don't believe in God, prayer means nothing. What does he care who Israel prays to be delivered from? And second of all, the way he goes about fooling them seems to be completely incompetent, and indeed it fails. What does he tell his people to do? He doesn't tell them change your clothing, put on costumes. He says to them, speak the Canaanite language. Now, when you're on a battlefield and you're seeing an enemy at the other side, the first thing you notice is not what they're speaking, but what they're wearing. And so the Israelites saw them and saw they're wearing the Amalekite clothing, and they heard then later the Canaanite speech, and they were confused, so they said a prayer generic. They said, God should deliver this people, whoever they are, into my hands. We will destroy their cities, and so it was. So his ruse failed. But what was he thinking? Why not tell his people to change their costumes as well? Any theatrical director knows that. Fascinating. I'll add one other question and then we'll come to answer. And that question is, the Israelites take an oath promising that if God grants them victory, they will destroy their cities. Why is that what the Israelites promise? Why don't they promise what people do in shul? I'll make a donation. Why? I'll destroy their cities. I believe that Rashi, when he's talking about garments and speech, is not talking about fashion and how you say potato in Canaanite. These are catchphrases. Garments means deeds, and speech, language, means message. You see, the Amalekite is a hater of Jews who wishes to destroy them, and his deeds show it throughout history. His cruelty in the time of Haman, who tried to kill all of the Jews, in the time of Hitler, who tried to destroy the Jewish people from Germany, Yemach Shemo v'Zichro, and of course on Simchas Torah 2 weeks ago, we saw the modern-day Amalekites wear the garment of the Amalekite, do the actions of the Amalekite. Against such an enemy, Israel is going to be unified. Israel is going to be determined. And I believe that's what the king was thinking about prayer. Not that he believed that prayer really had an effect in heaven, but rather that he knows that prayer is a great motivator. There you go. Prayer is a great motivator. If the Israelites are praying to be delivered from Amalek, who they know hates them and wants to kill them, they will come with all of their force. So he says, Amalek has a PR problem. Let's make them think we're Canaanites. They have a better PR message. The Canaanites were equally evil, as it says in the book of Deuteronomy, but they at least had a good PR point, which was what? We're innocent civilians. We're living here. We've lived here for a long time. Who are these Israelites to come and kick us out of our homes and kill us? And that's a message that could resonate with people in the world and even people in the Jewish people. You see, we're a merciful people. We have mercy. We love love and kindness and peace. We dream of it. And so this evil king was saying, the Amalekites have a terrible message. We hate Jews and want to kill them. That's not going to wash. But if we give them the messaging of the Canaanite, we'll divide them. Some of them are going to say, we have to fight them. Look at who they are. And the others may say, but listen to what they're saying. Let's have mercy. Again, he'll divide us, he thinks, and he'll conquer us. And it failed, because when Israel sees an Amalekite, there's no other question asked. We understood immediately who we were dealing with. And the Torah says, not that the Israelites, that they took an oath, it uses the singular. Israel, he took an oath, as one man with one heart. There's that unity again. And why did we promise to destroy their cities? That we wouldn't buy their lies. We wouldn't buy their arguments, because we know that it is mercy for the world. When God fights Amalek, the name of God used is the four-letter name of God, which means mercy. It is mercy for the world to destroy such an evil, which causes suffering not just to the Israelites, but to the people in their part of the world as well. May Hashem bless our leaders with wisdom and good decisions, our soldiers with success, protect them, go before them, fight for them, defeat their enemies, and bring them home safely. May all of the captives and hostages be released immediately and freed, and may peace come to this land and to the whole world. Shavuot Tov.